What is good, people? Welcome back to my channel. Show Bizz The Adult, a very prominent content creator in the boxing space. You can catch him on the Ring YouTube channel. You can catch him on the Zone, interviewing very high level, elite level boxers. But he also makes content for Undisputed from time to time and was one of the OG game testers back in the day. He recently released this video saying, finally, Undisputed sucks. And I'm going to give my reaction to this. So let's get into it.
Steel City Interactive. It took a long time, but now I have to say it. I've been quiet,
but now I have to say it, Steel City.
I've been with you guys from the very beginning.
Yeah, like I just said, he's been there from the very beginning. He was one of the very first content creators invited to the studio to test out the game back when it was called ESBC. So he's definitely been with them for a long time on their side.
And I'm just going to keep it a beam right now. Undisputed, the boxing video game, finally 100% sucks.
Man.
It sucks. Undisputed sucks.
That's so funny. Yeah, it definitely sucks right now. It's in a bad place, but I don't know what he means by finally, bro. It sucked for a long time, but I guess everybody has their own opinion, so let's find out.
You guys have done too many updates, too many versions. It got so far away from what was good about it. Listen to me. There was a time when I really thought Undisputed was a good boxing game. It was the
Yeah, there was. I remember just before the game had released, on full release in October, he had it early copies with a few people, and he was like making a lot of content saying, this is the best game ever, this is the best game ever. People got the game and started calling him a shill, thought he was on the payroll, because the game was a horrible mess.
The version y'all released at the launch of the game, that was y'all best one. Yes, I'm talking about the Haymaker spam version.
Yeah, I disagree with that.
When I said this, I've been playing a beta for years. This game ain't the beta. The beta is trash compared to this game. This is the most complete boxing game of all time. And I'm going to tell you this. It is the best combat sports game of all time, including UFC. It was the...
That is so funny. That just brought back memories, man. Like it's seared into my brain. What I remember from those type of videos is when pre-order had the game on the 8th and the full release was on the 11th. So we got the game early. Everybody was playing it and bashing the game, saying it was so trash. All the people that were waiting for full release on the 11th were worried and saying maybe we're not going to buy the game. So then through Show Bizz The Adult, Steel City leaked misinformation stating, like, guys, don't worry. We know all of these problems. We're going to update the game on full release, so you guys don't have to worry. It'll be fixed for you guys when you're ready. Everybody gets the game on the 11th. Then they drop a message saying, yeah, we're not going to update the game until 2 months. That's what I remember. And I remember thinking, yeah, Show Bizz The Adult is definitely on the payroll. He come out and said this game is good when it sucks. And then he's dropping misinformation. And what made me think that was as well, if a company uses you to push out misinformation to boost their sales, and they're using your followers and your fan base to do so, if you found out that they were lying to your fans, you'd call them out, right? You'd call them out on their bullshit. He didn't do any of that. He didn't say anything. So that made me think, oh, he was in on it. That's what I remember about those type of videos from back then.
The best one.
No cap.
The one that you guys launched, that you guys made a decision and said, this is going to be the game. You guys had it right the first time. Go back to that version. Listen, yes, there was a Haymaker spam thing going on, all right? But with practice, we learned how to box within that and make those guys look silly. Check me out with Larry Holmes.
Yeah, there were ways to mitigate what was happening, but I don't think anybody learned how to completely deal with it. Like, if you were fighting an elite level Deontay Wilder, or even a good Deontay Wilder, and he's throwing 300, 350 power shots, I don't think anybody got good at dealing with that, and it was stressful to deal with. It took the fun out of the game. He's like misremembering the game. I like, do you not remember the hit stuns do you not remember the hit stuns you get caught in and you'd be stuck there? Do we not remember when pushing was a thing, when there was spam pushing when they were rocked? Like all of these things, like the game at full release was nowhere near being the best version of the game.
But you punching too much now. Keep boxing, bro. Yep.
You missed me, bitch. Forget Larry Holmes. Check me out with Lomachenko when I boxed Terrence Crawford, who was 28-0.
Yeah, see, this is the problem. I don't want to play like this. This isn't visually appealing to me. Like, I don't enjoy playing the game like this in order to win. I don't want to have to play like this.
There are rules in the game which allowed me to be slick. You can be a slick fighter and take advantage of the haymaker guys. But the haymaker stuff was still fun because you can still knock people out. You can still fight like a slugger. You can still have a good time. Now the game is nothing but work and frustration. And I want to play a game during my downtime to have fun. I don't stop work to play something which is more work.
Yeah, he's got a point there. Undisputed is very stressful to play right now, but that doesn't mean that full release wasn't stressful. Full release was stressful, but for different reasons. Like right now, you've got to deal with a bulletproof block and runaway point fighters, the lean back blockers, then the body jab power right hookers, and back then it was just relentless power hooks and hit stuns. Like they're equally as stressful as each other, in my opinion. But yeah, he's right. This game is very stressful to play right now.
It's supposed to be a game.
It had the perfect balance of both. Let me tell you, regardless of how much I complain about Fight Night Champion and the spamming and everything, it was still fun.
Yeah.
The spamming, step spamming, and the uppercut spamming, and the straight right hand spam was sickening. It was disgusting, but you couldn't help to play it because those who want to box like me learned enough to take advantage of those guys and make.
Yeah, he is so right there. Online experience on Fight Night Champion is one of the worst experiences you will ever have. It is a cesspool of cheese and exploits, but man, did I have so much fun playing that game. I have never put more hours into a game than I did with Fight Night Champion. Man, he's right on that point, yeah.
Make them look silly. Yes, it was pathetic, but it was still.
And yeah. Once you learned how to overcome it, you get so much satisfaction out of beating someone, and they try to. Once you learned how to overcome all of the exploits and you beat someone, you get so much satisfaction and joy out of doing it. It was like an amazing experience.
Fun. The first version of Undisputed, which had the haymaker spam, it was pathetic, but it wasn't as cheesy as the right hand spam from Fight Night. You can make the haymaker.
No. The right hand power hook right now is exactly the same as the power straight on Fight Night Champion. They are being abused at the same rate with the same effect. So he's wrong there.
People look completely trash. Go back to that first version and leave it alone. We were all making videos. We were all doing highlight reels of knockouts. There was a minute even with everybody being disgruntled and everybody complaining, there were actually people making content and enjoying the game, acting like they're not.
Nah, he's wrong there, bro. You misremembering. What happened is there hadn't been a boxing game for 13 years, so everybody flocked to the game to make content for the game. Plus, there was big money in making content for the game when it first dropped, isn't there? So everybody was making content but still hating the game. I don't think anybody at that point was actually enjoying the game. Well, not out of the content creators anyway.
Steel City, you guys messed around and listened to all of the complainers, and the complainers were actually having fun.
Yeah, you definitely listened to the wrong people. You took all the advice from the casuals, and now the game caters to the casuals, which makes it a worse game. So that was a mistake.
Understand this. People in the comments don't say what they think. They don't even know what they know. They just complain. But as long as people are playing the game, you're winning. Now people aren't even playing because it's no longer fun. Let them complain. But the game was good. The game was fun. They complained too early, but after 2 weeks, all of you who play Undisputed, a lot of you content creators who were playing it at the first time, you guys had y'all complaints. But right before they updated it, you started to figure it out. Tell the truth. Just like me, you started to figure it out.
And he's right on that one. If one thing, the game being in such a bad state did do, it made me a much better player. I had to learn how to counter in different ways. I had to learn different combinations. My understanding of range, distance, and timing got so much better. So yeah, he's right there. It definitely made me improve as a player. But that doesn't mean that I want the game to stay like that, because it wasn't a fun experience.
And you started to have fun, and you were making people look silly. You were making a mess, and you were whooping ass. Tell the truth.
Yeah.
You complained too early. And then they made that change to the second version, which was still okay. It's all right. It was a drastic change. But now it's at a point where, bro.
The second update was a drastic change that was needed, and it was the best impact on the game I think any update has had so far. Hook spammers went from spamming hooks to completely not knowing what to do and how to play the game, and they would be gassed out in 4 rounds. Like, the perfect game would be the amalgamation of a full release with the second update, in my opinion.
It's just too far gone.
The first version had the best balance of strategy and fun. The haymaker, spam, but
there was no strategy. Yeah, there was no strategy on that game. It was just throw 350 power hooks and you'll be okay.
I could still take advantage of those people, and it wasn't hard to do. It was a little cheesy, but it was still fun. You cannot have a perfect game. Go back to that first version where you can slug and you can box. And I'm telling you, the game was more fun that way. We were making content. There was more people talking about it, good or bad. There was excitement. Now, if you want to make...
That's because the game had just released, bro. I think that's not right, man. That's not a good take.
Make a little change to the first version. Make a tweak on Wilder if you want. But I can even stand that. You can keep Wilder. I don't give a damn. Just go back to the verse. If anything, go to 12 rounds. 12 rounds, the first version. But
yeah, definitely go back to 12 rounds. That's another thing Steel City changed that nobody asked for. In early access, fights were 12 rounds, and the game is set up that way. There's fighters that have perks that don't kick in until round 6, and they didn't make any adjustments. So yeah, definitely go back to 12 rounds, because that will also slow the pace of the game down, because you can't throw as many strikes because you've got longer to last.
Even still, I don't care if you just go back to the first version and leave it as is. We do want 12 rounds. But go back to the first version and leave it as is. Even if you want to do that, you can do that. And it will be far better than this. Hear me out, because I haven't said anything. Undisputed, Steel City, please read the comments, because people are going to agree with me. Go back to the first version. Show Bizz The Adult. I'm out.
Yeah. I hate that take where it's read the comments and people agreeing with me, so that means I'm right. Just look at periods in time where people have agreed with things that were wrong. So that doesn't mean anything, does it? Like, some people will agree with things and that doesn't mean that they're right. People agreed with slavery. People agreed that women shouldn't be able to vote. I know those are extreme examples, but it just proves my point that just because someone agrees with you doesn't mean that you're right. Like, there's members of the KKK, you know what I mean? All over the top examples, but yes, you get my point now. Also, this is your YouTube channel, so this means it's your fan club. These are your fans, so anything you say, they should most likely agree with and support. Doesn't mean that you're right. How I feel about this is it's kind of like an oxymoron, because he's both right and wrong at the same time. Yes, go back to the full release build as the foundation, but no, do not change the game back to exactly what it was at full release. Full release had the best blocking. There was no shelling up. You couldn't run away. You could walk down runners and punch through their block. It had the best hit detection. Like, there was no hit detection problems. Just tracking needed a bit of tweaking. and it had the best pace of the game in my opinion. So if you want to go back to changing the game to full release foundations and build from there, yes, I'm all for it, but no, do not take the game back to exactly what it was at full release, because it was a mess. That's going to bring us to the end of the video, guys, but I want to hear your thoughts. Do you agree with me? Do you agree with Show Bizz The Adult? What version of the game do you think is the best? Let me know in the comment section below. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.